Let us now start with Gabon. In Gabon, Minister of Communication and spokesman for Gabon, Alain Claude Bilie By Nze, has said opponents who do not recognize the authorities in place will not have access to state media. Claude Bilie By Nze was speaking after a visit to the national television on Monday, August the 28th. And when interviewed again by another radio station, he reiterated the same remarks, which are now generating controversy in Gabon. According to the minister, Gabonese law requires the public media to disseminate the diversity of political expressions, including majority and opposition, but also makes no provision or permission to those, and I quote, who call for insurrection, hatred, and overthrow of institutions. And so those who do will not have the floor on the public media, end of quote.
This decision by the Gabonese authorities exposes the gap that has kept growing between the power and Jean Ping's opposition camp. The latter still persists his refusal to recognize the election of President Ali Bongo Ondimba after the disputed presidential election of August 27, 2016. It is undoubtedly a will of power to further isolate the opposition leader after having succeeded in turning some of his former supporters against him. A few days ago, the president did a cabinet reshuffle that saw the entry of several opposition leaders who were appointed to ministerial and other government positions. The reshuffle comes within the framework of the national dialogue to which Jean Ping was not invited to participate by his former campaign director, René Demezou Obiang, who was appointed to the presidency of the Economic and Social Council.
And now joining us from Libreville, the capital of Gabon, is Andre Adjo, a political analyst in Gabon. Andre, good morning, Andre. And straight to the questions, do these remarks, which clearly shows the direction the Gabonese government wants to go with the opposition, do they surprise you?
This decision by Gabonese government, because it is the government that has come forward to announce it, got me a bit curious. Already, it should be noted that Gabonese opposition did not shine from their excessive presence in the public media in Gabon. So to exclude those who are not totally admitted, I do not see what it corresponds to. And then in terms of political communication, it seems awkward. What is the message? Who are we talking to? And then what if we are scrutinized when the actions of the government are scrutinized because the situation is delicate, especially abroad? To take such a step, I do not understand the strategy well. Making decisions like this at the very moment when the government pretends to calm the situation. There are, in any case, several questions that are being raised, and the answers are less obvious because we do not understand the political logic behind all this.
Andre, do you think that with this decision, do you think that it has put to rest any form of possible dialogue with the opposition in the country?
I believe that if the exercise of the dialogue was supposed to calm the situation, it was supposed to do, or rather it was supposed to be a solution to the current tension. And this type of measure comes to deny those who believed in it because it hides badly a form of embarrassment and even a form of nervousness. How do you believe in institutions that exclude you? Because remember that institutions are set up for and by community. They come rather to solve problems and meet needs. Institutions never come to create problems. So in reality, this type of measures even question the functioning of our state and its institutions. I will not go so far on the question of living together because you know what the public media is the soul of the country.
Perhaps the decision was particularly targeted at main opponent Jean Ping, who has been calling for civil disobedience. Is it?
Yes, one can imagine it's not him, but it is him and his allies that are being targeted. But what is the scope of a measure like this when Jean Ping never appeared on public television to give his opinion? When he appears, he is always dependent. He himself had also declined when the CNC had resumed broadcasting at the time of the election campaign.
Avait réparti les temps d'antenne au moment de la campagne électorale.
Jean Ping did not invite himself at the very moment when he was expected in the public channel. He has long developed other forms of communication on other media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, etc. So even if it targets him, pertinent questions about the aim of the measure would still be posed.
Là aussi est posé.